What's up, guys? So I thought I'd talk about the Bioware New IP because I'm practically staff. You know, I've got like the Bioware hat and these awesome glasses. So y'all, whoa, this is gonna be like for future me, or for future us from this channel, to go back and see how wrong or how close I was to nailing the new IP, like what it's about. So Bioware has pretty much said nothing about the new IP. They've teased a lot, like a lot. I think it was a GDC, like the whole developers game conference thingamajig. Alistair McNally was there from Bioware, and he was like, well, it was so nice to meet some of you guys, and I had like the new IP shirt, and it was so cool that nobody noticed. Everyone was going on Twitter like, did anyone see Alistair McNally? Did anyone take a picture with him? And no one found a picture of him with the shirt. And I'm like, there's gotta be somebody out there that took a picture of him. But apparently not. Lesson learned, every time you see a Bioware person with a weird shirt on that's not Mass Effect or Dragon Age or anything like that, you take a picture and you post it on Twitter or Instagram or something. Bioware games are usually the same type of game, same type of like RPG, action RPG type of games. So I'm guessing it's going to be an action RPG. Like, more like Mass Effect than like Dragon Age. So it might be more on the shooter side. But I think there's going to be like melee too. It's going to be in the future, either cyberpunk or steampunk. That type of stuff. Because in steampunk, you could do steampunk in the future, but have like old technology type of stuff. So you could like mix and match. That's one thing that I like about steampunk sometimes, is that it could be you could have like futuristic stuff mixed with old technology, and that looks really cool. Bioware does seem to like the whole steampunk thing, because I remember them talking a long time ago about they said, what would you like to see in a Bioware game? And a lot of people were saying steampunk and stuff like that. And they were talking about why, like they were like, well, why do people like steampunk? What is it about steampunk that is intriguing? They could have just been asking that just out of curiosity. This was from some Bioware people on Twitter. This was a while back. I don't even think the new IP was even announced yet or something like that. But it was just like all up in the air. And then Mark Dara, his cosplay for, was it GDC? Or was it PAX? I don't remember which one it was, but Mark Dara did a cosplay, and it was steampunk, and it looked all cool. He had a really good job with it. So, I mean, not that that says anything, but Bioware people kind of, I think, have like a thing with steampunk. That opens a lot of doors for gameplay, combat. It just gives you more options of like not just limited to existing weapons, but you could just go all out and create all these crazy weapons. There's gonna be romance. I'll bet you anything. You're going to be able to choose to be male or female. There's going to be a character creator. There's going to be party members. Every Bioware game has had all of this. There's going to be some kind of transportation, like mounts or a vehicle or something that you could use. There's going to be some kind of pet. And I'm going to draw this because I'm getting like a vision in my head. Future us, we're going to go to Toys R Us. We're gonna come back to this video and we're gonna see how on point this pet is gonna be. Just wait, just watch. A mix between a Nug and a Volus. It's gonna think like it's all that, and it's really not. And it's gonna have a little bit of hair. He's gonna be like a little like side character, like not so much a pet, because he's a type of character that kind of looks like a pet, but if you call him a pet, he'd get pissed off. He's gonna be kind of like Rocket Raccoon, you know, from the whatchamacallit, Galaxy Quest or whatever. No, what was it called? The Guardians of the Galaxy. There's gonna be different races. So that's why I'm thinking it's gonna be like in the future, in a different world. It's not gonna be in this world. There's gonna be mechanical augments. Like actual like mechanical arms and stuff like that. And like mechanical eyes. Oh, that'd be so cool if they made a game where you could customize your character, or like you could eventually like put like mechanical pieces on you, like have a mechanical arm instead of an actual arm, or like choose to be like a cyborg or something like that, like a mechanical eye. Oh, that'd be so cool. That's more cyberpunk, but you could also incorporate that in steampunk, you know, pipes and stuff like that, not so mechanical like a robot. There's really not many games like that right now. And I think it would be really cool. Bioware style, that would be so cool because of the variety that just offers a lot. And a lot of people are like, oh, steampunk is overdone. The idea of it is. But if you think about it, there's no game out there that has done it well, or that has really focused on what steampunk is. Like they usually end up mixing it. Like the Order 1886 has a steampunk feel to it. Like it does have some steampunk aspects to it. Like it's a futuristic type of world. Like there's these, you know, it's like in the past, but there's these blimps that are flying on like, and you're just like, whoa, wait, that's not, like this 1886, but they've got like these like crazy technology stuff that looks like it's old, but it's like that was never there. But something that is steampunk, where it's like that straight up steampunk, where you've got those like typical top hats, you know, the guys with the crazy mustaches, you know, like with the pipes and stuff, and like actually like almost steam coming out, and like those like goggles that are like monocles that are almost they're mechanized, or they're like, you know, they're like, oh, that's so cool. I would love that. I would love that so much for a Bioware game. The type of games Bioware has made are games that look like Dragon Age, where they're kind of a little bit zoomed out, a little bit tipped up, where the character is it's more of like an old school RPG fantasy type of game. Kind of like Origins, where you've got tac cam and all that, and you could zoom out and look and stuff, and there's more strategy to it. There's those. There's stuff like Baldur's Gate, where that's old school. That is old school RPG. That is more like Dungeons and Dragons. You level up your character from scratch, and you've just put in, like, you almost make dice rolls, and that's usually like a bird's eye view. And then there's like Mass Effect, where it's kind of like a little bit over the shoulder. It's a closer view. It's more like a third-person shooter style. I think it's gonna look more like Mass Effect. 3 party members. And you might even be able to bring in the pet, like in Dragon Age, like that little dude. You might be able to bring, like, he might be like your little sidekick or something. You know what? He's gonna have a top hat. Yeah. No, let's put like a little derby on him. There's gotta be some kind of a network, so you can travel long distance. If you think about Bioware games like Mass Effect and Dragon Age, they correlate a lot. I'm not saying that this is gonna happen. I'm not saying that this is what Bioware is gonna do. They might go a different route. They might be trying to do something different from what they've done before, so it might be completely different, the new IP. The whole idea of the ancient elves, the ones that left the Illuvians and all that, that is almost identical, almost very similar to the Protheans, because the ancient elves left the Illuvians as a network, between themselves to travel. And it eventually turned into being something that could be dangerous. Like with the Kunari and all that in Trespasser. And in Mass Effect, that's very similar to the Protheans and their beacons. The way that they were communication devices, and how that eventually turned against them. And then there was also like their back doors into the Citadel and all that. And eventually the Reapers like took advantage of that. And then there's always this character that is like, where you don't really know if they're good or bad, where you kind of like doubt them, like Flemeth and the Elusive Man. The threats are usually like more of like a higher entity, almost like almost like a very powerful, almost godlike entity. And at first you don't really see it. It's just like this threat that is looming over everyone. It might even be like, is it really there? Is it real? Is it not real? It was always like, well, that's what the elves believe. Like, that's not really what happened. You know, that's their religion or whatever. And in Mass Effect, it's like, oh, the Reapers. The Reapers. I don't think it's going to be like planet to planet, like Mass Effect. And I don't think it's going to be like continents, like with Dragon Age. So I think with this one, it's gonna be more like cities. I forgot what I was saying. Freaking A. It was so brilliant too. By the way, Mark Dara teasing this thing right here. You can't see it very well. People have been saying, is this the new IP or is it the next Dragon Age? I think it's the next Dragon Age because I don't think that's the new IP. It looks way too much like Dragon Age because it's got like a little wolf and it's got like a little castle, and I was like, oh hell nah. Like, that wolf is Fen'Harel. I don't care what anybody tells me. And that little castle is some kind of Dragon Age castle. So that is most likely the next Dragon Age. I still don't remember what I was gonna say. For those of you wondering where I got these awesome glasses, these are courtesy of the awesome at Zenderquai, Nick Sadler, because he's super coolios. Like, there's gonna be, I bet you there's gonna be some kind of like society system, where some people are oppressed and others are like, you know, all high and mighty. Maybe even floating cities. That'd be so cool. Like in Bioshock Infinite, where everything was just in the sky. That'd be awesome. And then you could like go onto blimps and stuff. If the new IP isn't this, Bioware, call me. Call me and we'll talk. This could be the new IP. This could be the new MD. So yeah, I have no clue what the new IP is. I don't know anything about it, and it kills me not to know because I want to know something. I want to know just the genre. Like, that's all I want to know. This E3 or EA Play, we've got to know something. A teaser. There's got to be a teaser. This EA Play, if there is no teaser, I'm gonna riot. Like, I am literally gonna riot. I'm gonna call Bioware and be like, can I speak to Bioware? I'm practically staff. If they're not ready to show any gameplay, I would say like a simple teaser, not even cinematics. Do not show cinematics if you're not ready to show any gameplay, because some people will flip. Something that gives us at least the genre, where you're like, oh, you know, those really short teasers? That would be enough. Because then it's a teaser, you know, they're just showing us. They're announcing the game because they haven't really announced it. We don't know anything about it. EA pulled out of E3, so they've got to have some big things up their sleeve. If it's just gonna be some freaking EA Sports, oh my god! They did not just make their own little conventions for like freaking EA Sports and no. No. So they've got all their whatever's Battlefront, whatever they're called. They've got their EA Sports, which is usually the biggest part of E3 in their conference. Probably some kind of like Plants vs. Zombies type of thing. Some kind of racing stuff. And then they've got to have more than just Mass Effect. Because right now it's just this. This is the new IP. I know, amazing, but... So obviously don't take this too seriously. I mean, I was trying to a lot of this stuff was me trying to really think of what the new IP might be, but I could be 100% off. A lot of people are like, MD, are you drunk? Or like, are you high? No, I don't do that stuff. I'm clean. I'm just weird. Let me know in the comments down below what you think the genre is. What would you wager? Like in a percentage. How close would you wager I am? Let's make some bets. So that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys later.